You're with the Breaker-Leggers!
And the Little Leggers!
And the Little Leggers, because we are in Coventry at the Belgrade Theatre.
To see the twisted tale of Hansel and Gretel.
So stay tuned to find out how many legs.
Whether it's break a leg
or
leg it! That was
Brilliant.
great, yeah.
That
Okay.
was exactly 44.6 seconds.
Before you go any further,
To keep your finger on the theatrical pulse.
to make sure you've always got the latest news, reviews and interviews.
Just hit that subscribe
yeah,
button
what do they need
now.
to do, guys? They need to...
Hit the subscribe button.
That's
Hit the
it.
subscribe button. You have been told. Yes, we've got the Little Leggers with us because it's half term, which means this is when all the children's shows come out, which is why I've come to the Belgrade to see, what is it?
The Twisted Tale of Hansel and Gretel. Now, this is a new production produced in partnership with the Open Theatre Company and METRO-BOULOT-DODO, and actually marks the first ever home-produced show from the Birmingham Hippodrome.
Interesting. And it's Hansel and Gretel, but told from a different point of view?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone knows the story of Hansel and Gretel. I mean, from everybody's youth. You boys know it, don't you? And we know it from, a generation's different point of view. Don't know it that
No.
much. But anyway, this takes that well-known story of Hansel and Gretel and turns it on its head and takes it from a different perspective of some of the minor characters involved in the story.
Okay, anything about this specific production?
Well, the actors in this piece have actually been drawn from the company Because We Can, who work with actors who have a variety of learning disabilities, which
Okay.
is really, fantastic
Progressive.
opportunity and very progressive.
Now, yeah, I've got to say, we've already had a conversation on the way up with the Little Leggers about learning difficulties and all the different spectrums that covers, so already quite educational.
Yeah, and we're promised an inventive storytelling method with live music in this tale, which is told in 1 hour straight through.
So no interval breakdown,
No.
but we'll let you know what we think and what the Leggers think at the end.
At the end. See you then. Bye for now.
Bye! So we have come to the end of the twisted tale of Hansel and Gretel here at the Belgrade Theatre. It was only an hour long, so that wasn't too bad, but I am keen to know, as it is a family show, first of all from the Leggers. So
Little Leggers.
Little Leggers, what did you think?
I liked it. My favourite character was the duck. And
Okay,
my
why did you like the duck?
Because instead of talking, she just went rap, rap, and held up signs.
Okay, so Doc was your favourite character. Did you have any other favourite bits?
Whenever the story says, whenever somebody's meant to say, I'm hungry, then the song, there's a big song. Well, not a big song, it always gets into it.
What did they sing?
I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry.
And you like that bit? Okay, how about you, Little Legger Lincoln?
I really liked it. I like the costumes because they looked like they were drawn, which made them look really cute.
Yes.
And the two actors that stood out for me was Gretel because she was full of energy, and the storyteller.
So the Gretel was played by Kamisha Lewis and the storyteller Nikki Priest.
Who was the duck played by?
The duck was played by
Vicky Taylor.
Vicky Taylor, and you liked her a lot, didn't you? Yeah, I've got to
was
say
very
she was a
funny.
real standout character. She embodied a duck really well, and her movement style was great. She had good comic timing. She doesn't speak, she quacks occasionally, but physical humour, I thought she grasped it really well.
Yeah, what did you think of the rest of the piece, Big Legger?
I thought it was okay. There are some interesting ideas which I think could have been better employed. Esther Taylor, the director here, has clearly had some great creative concept ideas, but they haven't been particularly well executed. For example, the set changes are made something of, very much so, but I think there would have been more laughs involved had they maybe have not got things done, or there'd have been mess-ups in the set because of the time pressure element of putting the set together. It's very much this is a blank stage, we've got to use what we have in order to make the set. I'd have liked to have seen that go wrong.
Okay, overall, what did you think?
Overall, I thought it was good for a certain age demographic. I would say it says 5+, but to be honest with you, I'd say 5 to probably 8 is about it. Anything over that, I would say it's a little bit simple, and there are things with a kind of higher level of intellect out there to stimulate some slightly older minds. What about you?
Well, I guess I'm coming in here now. Where am I going? Let's go here. For me, firstly, I think it's great, the concept of the company, bringing in actors and actresses of different abilities, I think is an absolute brilliant thing to be doing. So firstly, in terms of that, I think it's great. And it's great to see a diverse group of people on stage that normally you wouldn't get to see. So that's nothing but a thumbs up. However, looking at the piece was very slow for me. Very dirgy. It lacked a lot of pace. There were bits that I thought they should have been kind of really pushing through that got quite slow and self-indulgent. The piece says it's told from a different perspective. The perspective is basically the narrator. It's between the narrator and a mockingbird, is it? A mockingjay?
Yeah, a mockingbird played by Charles Craggs, who plays a variety of instruments and sound effects in order to bring the story to life.
Which was
in that
nice.
respect.
I mean, and it's kind of like the narrator is trying to tell the story as it's told, and the actors and the mockingjay are kind of ruining it a little bit. I guess that's the kind of overall concept of the piece. However, it's just quite self-indulgent at times, and I'm not entirely sure how much of the audience knew what was going on.
It felt like an in-joke at times. It felt like just a conversation between two actors for their own sake, not so much what are we portraying to the audience here in order to make the story come to more life.
Yeah, but there were some nice elements in terms of creativity, nice projection
Was
on
great.
simple flats, but just bits that were repeated too much. I think you got it right, Leg Simon. Age 5 to 8, anything over than that, I think it's going to be a bit more difficult.
Yeah, I've got to go back to the point about using actors with learning disabilities. They've asked us for feedback from this and asked all the audience to fill out a form. And I've got to say, in terms of commitment and passion and drive, there is no difference between the actors that are on this stage in this production, learning disability or not, and actors in other pieces. And I think that is such an important thing to be taking away from all of this, that, you can't be marginalised just because you have a learning disability. They've definitely got a lot to bring, and I feel really grateful for an opportunity to see that.
Yeah, and that's definitely something we would champion. I just think in the execution of this piece, I think it's just they could have used a better a director telling them to, okay, let's push through, let's move with this. Yeah. This is no longer entertaining.
And
this is real objective eye.
Humour. I would have liked a few more laughs personally.
Were there any bits that made you laugh, boys?
The duck.
Just mainly the duck. Sorry, Leg, you're going to say something, Leg Simon.
Yeah, I was just going to say we're going to have two very different perspectives on this piece, because we have a young demographic and a slightly older demographic, and someone that, for a couple of people that do see a lot of theatre and some people that see slightly less theatre. So we're going to give two sets of legs for this. Go for it, Link. What are you going to say?
There was a mistake at the very end with the set, which I don't think you noticed, but on the last one there was time pressure. One of the pieces, the bottom part of the window was put upside down.
You see, the little leggers miss nothing.
Detail, guys.
You see, you've got to be wary when the little leggers are in. They see everything. So we're going to give two sets of legs. So firstly, little leggers, how many legs are you going to give Hansel and Gretel?
3!
3? Why are you giving it 3?
Because I like lots of things.
Because you like lots of things. What more of a reason could you have?
Great. I mean, yeah, absolutely. For the big leggers now, we are going to give 2.
2 legs.
Yeah, just some great ideas, inspiring company, but could have been better executed and probably not for a wide age demographic, a very narrow window.
However, obviously theatre here in Belgrade for the kids during half term is very much alive because their house was full and full of families as well.
Do you know what? If this is getting families with the future of theatre to come out and see pieces, then that is an achievement in itself.
But hey, that's just what we thought.
What did you think? Why not leave us a comment, like the video, we'd love to hear from you. We're the Breaker Leggers and the Little Leggers, and we'll catch you again soon. Bye!